Beautiful day, beautiful soul, and welcome back to Love, Peace, and Happiness Tarot. Coming to you live once again from Las Vegas. I go by Melinda NailFanatic, and we're here to channel these latest messages, most important messages from the download series. So if you're here, it's by divine design. If it resonates, pick it up and run with it. If it doesn't, leave it where you found it. Either way, make your choices and decisions responsibly today. Because you'll always have the consequences and repercussions to pay. You have questions, I have answers. You could find those facts below the video in the description box and on the website. And after these messages, we'll be right back. Yeah. The following messages have been co-signed by the divine and sponsored by spirits. We pulled your alpha and omega messages. We pulled them first. We'll read them last. They'll tie a beautiful bow on everything we receive here today. So I pre-shuffled a few decks here. We have a total of 7 decks already pre-shuffled and predetermined that I was going to use for the show today. We'll see how many it turns out to be at the end, but we're going to start with 7. And I heard, start with the divine mind. Like I said, I did pre-shuffle these. I did select a spread for us to read from today to get our most important message. And it's the clarity spread that came out. So let's get into this clarity spread. From the time the first card falls, I'll just lay the whole spread down, and we're going to be layering the spread today. All right. Let's see what we have at the bottom of the deck is the 9 of Wands. So the bottom of the deck being the 9 of Wands is giving lower arcana strength card. So it's like you've had to be strong. Life has made you strong. Oh, yeah. Life has made you strong. It's like all those experiences, right? They showed you how life showed you how strong you are. Yeah. And this is where somebody's like, listen, I'm tired of finding out how strong I am. We can just stop that now. That's what I see. Yeah. Okay, I want to do this deck next. Yeah, we're just going to take our time and go through this. So if you've got time, hang out with me. Thank you for the growth on our channel where we receive our divine messages for our highest, lightest, and brightest good. So thankful and grateful. Life has been a struggle, though. You've gone really through a lot, and you gotten to this point where it's like, okay, enough with the strength training. This is like somebody who's been hitting the gym every day, and it's like, you know what? I need a freaking break. Celebration is at the bottom of this deck, and we have a toast going on. There's cheers. Okay, so it's giving me the energy where it's like whatever you were strength training for, you met that goal, you accomplished that. There's no need to continue to push yourself. Yeah, you don't have to push yourself so hard. Like, you made a major goal. So now you have cause to celebrate. Yeah, goal accomplished. Sit in the energy of your accomplishment a little bit longer. it took a long time, and I'm hearing a song. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. And it's like you could have been singing that song for years, type of a thing, or living the lyrics to that song, most likely. But it's finally, and then I hear, finally, it has happened to me right in front of oh my God, right in front of my face, and I just can't deny. We have the eyes. I swear to God, it's eyes. Oh wow, okay. And it's like everybody, so you can see your success now, but that's crazy. You've like during all this time you've been going through this challenge, you felt like people were against you and everybody was just waiting to see when you were gonna fall on your face. I'm hearing, but you can see it now. You could see what other people couldn't see. Is definitely part of the message that I'm getting here. You could see what other people could not see, and you just, it's like you got tired of people working against you, folks lying on your name, trying to manipulate situations with falsehood is what I'm hearing. People manipulating situations with falsehood. Some folks been trying to spy on you to see what you were up to, but you didn't give them the information. Like you're not a big bragger, so you didn't tell everybody what you were doing. You kept that information to yourself because you know it's your business, not everybody else's business. See, somebody else who's a bigger mouth would have been telling everybody all their business, but you didn't. You kept your business to yourself. Yeah. But it was a very frustrating situation because you just felt like, I heard you were ahead of your time. People weren't ready. Square peg round hole, baby. You were bringing some kind of stability to a bunch of I heard to a situation that was very unstable. Like you were the stability, you were consistency, you were reliability. That's not what they had in that situation. That's not what they were attuned to, accustomed to. They wasn't used to that. So you brought um a whole different technique to the game by bringing stability and consistency where everybody else was just not, everybody else was just not and it set you apart. But by the same token, not only did it set you apart, it it meant that a lot of people, because of the way you did things, it meant that a lot that the people around, they didn't get it. It was, this is like trying to explain value and quality versus quantity to somebody who just can't get it. They just want it all right now. They don't understand that quality takes time. I heard, and money to create. Yeah. Um, you had a lot of hurts in your past that you've been, you could still be carrying some of this junk around right now. uh, and it had everything to do with everything that people was against you. Like I said, you did a lot by yourself. Okay, somebody else might have somebody to turn to, but in this situation I see that you did not, and therefore like you built a superhuman strength is what I'm hearing. Superhuman strength, because not only did you do some stuff that most folks can't do, but you figured out how to do that on your own without looking for somebody to validate you, without looking for somebody to come on and make it easier for you. I mean, okay, all along the line, the timeline, all along the line, you did have supporters. It wasn't necessarily your family though. As a matter of fact, what your family gave you was a bunch of emotional baggage. But all along the line, you did have supporters, but it wasn't the people that grew up with you or nothing like that. I heard, and they come and go. The supporters will come and go. You were the consistency. You were the one that stuck through everything to get this goal, to get to this point of being able to celebrate. Um, and then, of course, I hear celebrate good times. Come on. I mean, you made it happen. And so we're going to see what else they tell us about what it is. But you put in the work. Different ones were looking at you, talking stuff, trying to figure out how you actually did. The ones that could tell. So it's like so many people didn't understand that what you were doing was something different. But then the ones that did, instead of come along and offer you your flowers for it, they tried to see how you do it. Yeah, they try to see how you do it. And they thought that they were actually, I mean, you played dumb with them. I heard you played dumb with them. They thought that they were actually getting over on you in some sort of way. Like they thought they had you fooled. When their lies, they just thought you were so damn gullible. They really thought you were so damn gullible. They thought they had you pegged for a fool. And you know what you did? You did something that really threw them off and then really fucked them up, is what I heard, which was you just let them think whatever they wanted to, because it didn't matter what their opinions was of you. You were trying to see what were they after, and then you did, is the thing. So they showed you, while you sat there and played like you didn't have no sense about what they were actually up to. They showed you exactly what they were looking for. Like this is giving me the energy of this lady. She came in and talked about I'm a work for Coco Chanel and we want to hire you to do nails at our show and all this stuff. It sounded like horse shit, but I was spiritually guided to listen and let the lady play her tricks. And God had showed me that she was up to some bullshit. Um, that she was an industry spy, so to speak, trying to figure out how I made my bubble nail and stuff. Trying to figure out how I made my nail designs like I did. And I don't know who she was reporting to. I still don't know what the outcome is of that. Spirit gonna let me know when it's time for me to know. But up until now, it's been mind my freaking business. And the person didn't get nothing over on me. But that it's that kind of an energy. It's like somebody spying on you, trying to figure out what you do, how you do it, because you're so freaking unique, right? And so they gonna come up and deal with you like you're so dumb you can't see what it is. Like the lady didn't have no business card. It so much of the shit, it just didn't make sense. But as far as she knew, I fell for the whole hook, line, and sinker, you know? And it didn't hurt me none. I'm in business still. Whoever they are, they ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that manipulation was, they gonna have fun with the karma of that. And I'm sure they have been for years, because this was years ago. This wasn't even anytime recent. It was probably my first year in my own shop. So this was years ago. And so in your experience, like it could have been like that, where it was a long time ago. For some of you, this was a person who was in your family that was like you. They were so irritated because they kept trying to get you to go away, and you wouldn't. Instead of going away, you levitated, baby. They kept preying on your downfall, okay? But it was God's plan. God's plan. Yeah. Yeah, you were levitating. It was God's plan. Um, and you was and you were loyal to God's plan. You were loyal to God's plan the whole time. So let's get into these cards. In our first position, we're going to talk about the biggest fear or distraction Okay. And just so you know, like I'll be guided to take notes off of this reading today, as I was actually going to do this by myself, and Spirit's like, no, you need to record this. I'm like, oh, okay. So then you guys got involved, and they were like, yeah, let's do a download. I'm like, okay. So here we go. Biggest fear, distraction. That is 6 of Cups. Ooh, we have financial goals. The makeup jar, inner beauty, not seeing how beautiful life is. Just look below the gray. Beautiful days will return soon. Short-lived depression. We have rejection. We have unconscious games. We have the Hermit. And we have the 6 of Pentacles. So your biggest fear. Like, you had to overcome a lot financially. I see that you've been working, like there's things you wanted since you were a child, and goals you had for yourself since you were a child. And I heard it was to get as far away from your childhood experience as possible. Um, it's like you were designed, you were like gonna make yourself more beautiful, beautify your life, right? And then, so the thing is, the fear and the distraction comes in the fact that in your subconscious energy, you were running a program of rejection. So nobody liked you. Nobody was on your side. You very, like I said, you had to go it alone. And so there's this fear that you would always be alone, that people don't like you, that they don't accept you. But it was uh subconscious programming that you had in your brain. And I see that just from here, they're showing me like this is what you have been worked to overcome. And so in the fears, some of you, you're afraid it's still affecting your life. You know what I'm saying? After you done put in all this work, you done invested into yourself to overcome this rejection energy that you were carrying. But that rejection energy, it was strong. So it's like every time you thought you were done with it, it was still there. And so the fear is that things will go back to the way they were, and you won't be able to get your flowers, that you won't be chosen. But mm, even in that, even when you think about that, we end up with the final card here, which is the 6 of Pentacles, which is her carrying her gifts, right? So this is like, you have plenty to spare and to share. And so it's like there's this energy in this. It's like you have to, like, people say this all the time. I've heard so many people say this. I'm like, stop repeating that. There was a friend I had years ago, and their mother had told them, because they were uh the skin color that they were, that they were going to have to work twice as hard as anybody else to get anywhere. And I'm sure that that has been true in that person's life, because that person really fucking believed it. Like, their mother did them no favors by programming that into them. And so there's that energy here, in the fears. Is like, did I really finish and shift that subconscious programming? Okay. And this is surrounding, it starts with financial goals. So this is surrounding financial goals and receiving your 6 of Pentacles, which is plenty to spare to share. Enough extra to go shopping, have fun, dress well, eat good, and buy silly shit for your friends just because you can, type of stuff, you know? So this reading is looking a lot like a money-based reading. I'm going to throw that out there. But because of the rejection involved in it, like, this would probably affect, I mean, this showing me that it was a dominant energy in you that was hidden from the subconscious, which means then it would have affected all sorts of aspects of your life. It wasn't just hitting one area, it wasn't only hitting your bank. So you probably had lovers that didn't want you, friends that were low key, they were your haters undercover, you know what I'm saying? Family members push you away, didn't want to be around you. Nobody really wanted to show interest in what you were doing. And so you did. I feel like you did. You had to work twice as hard to come out of that. So, second position is where to focus instead. We have Eight of Swords, rediscover yourself. We have receptive and clear clarity of thought, great communication, and know thyself coming out again, and protection, big changes, the Lovers, and the Chariot. This is fantastic. So where to focus instead? Okay. This is saying to me that you have the ability to focus on being that you know yourself. Like, this time alone has been beneficial, so you can know yourself, which is huge. Everybody don't know their self. To know yourself, and it's like rediscovering yourself from your truth, not from what people told you you were. Because the different ones, they done told you some things, um and it got into some of that, like when you were little and they started hating on you and talking stuff and talking trash and being rude and disrespectful and stuff. That became part of, well, this is how life is, programming in you. Yeah. You treat yourself well. You've learned about what you're interested in. You've also learned that you don't have to change yourself to make them happy. You learn to effectively communicate about yourself and your needs and your desires. And I heard you've been telling yourself a better story. You've been telling yourself the beautiful truths about yourself that other people, the things that they couldn't see. And that's making big changes in your life. And so, what ways, where to focus? Not only are you chosen, but you've moved out of that energy. You've made look at the way she just looks so satisfied in this big changes card. There's so much self appreciation in that. There's so much trust in herself in that. So anywhere where you were not trusting yourself because other people couldn't see your value, that's over. Yeah. And they're saying, instead of focusing on the old view, focus on this new you. Know that you're protected. Know that you've done so much to change things in your past. And one thing I'm loving is I just received this watch as a gift, and it's teal and it matches the card. Look at, I don't know why I love this. It's time, baby. They're saying it's time. It's time. Okay. Things are in alignment. Okay. It is time. So it's like your physical your physical reality is matching your desire. And this watch has a kind of a magical story as well, because it's something I was looking at in the store, and then like 2 days later it was gifted to me. So it's like, as you focus on things, even if it's not in your physical hand, so focusing on the life you want to live, focusing on the things that you love, that feel good, the things that feel pleasurable to you. I mean, nobody needs a watch. We all have a phone, right? We all have a phone. We could check what time it is on the phone. Double tap, you got it, right? But I just wanted it. I thought it was nice. I was like, oh, that's nice. I'd like to have that. And then I didn't think nothing else about it. I just left it alone. And then it became mine. And they're saying it's with that focus of ease. So it's the same way with people, with opportunities, like, oh, that'd be nice. I like that. And then just don't stress over it. I didn't try to figure out if I was going to get it or how to get it. I just appreciated it, knew that I liked it, and oh, that might be nice to have. And then it became mine. And so it's simple in that way, but that also is what makes it complicated, because if you, it's like, as you focus, you don't, you don't stress on it. You know what I'm saying? The focus on, and it's not, I didn't sit and focus on the fucking watch for days. I did not do that. It was, if life is this store, if all of life is this store, this is what I would put on my plate and then watch it show up, is what I'm hearing. And that's literally how it works easiest. They're saying window shopping. If you could do some window shopping in life, that will be very beneficial. They're saying that was one of the gifts that my father gave me, was teaching me how to do window shopping, because baby, we didn't always have the money to buy the stuff. And that goes back to those financial goals that we talked about in the first position. Those financial goals. Yeah, window shopping. If you can see how much you would like it without the resistance to it. Even Abraham Hicks has a game. If you don't know Abraham Hicks, you need to meet Abraham Hicks. Go do some research here on YouTube. You'll find some. But it's like, imagine you had a certain amount of money, extra fluid, to just spend on what you enjoy throughout the day and mentally do that, right? With the lover's energy and the chariot here, it's like you've made some beautiful decisions. You've had to walk away from certain things to get other things, but at the end of the day, it led you to a more advanced life. I'm hearing advanced. Okay. You progressed. Advancement and progress. And you accomplish that by your choice to see big changes for yourself and knowing that you are protected on this path. And with the protection card, it's saying to me too, like nobody could infiltrate your mind space anymore. So anywhere where different ones had said stupid things, and then that got stuck in your self-programming, self-views, like that's complete. You've overcome that. It's over. And speaking of it's over, the next position is the past experience to let go of. So let's see what we have in the past to let go of. Six of Pentacles. Challenge yourself. Don't set limits. The police, helpful people, people giving assistance, trying to help people. Illumination, confessions, Three of Swords, and the King of Swords. So for a lot of you, this is saying let go of this past experience with this ex. The King of Swords coming through as an ex. Okay. Let go of the past experience where you decided to invest in a big challenge. You decided that you were gonna tackle a problem. Yeah, I heard tackle a problem. In this situation, you were trying to help this person. Like, so the past experience to let go of is where you were trying to be a helpful person to this ex. But what happened is, when you were busy doing that, I see that you had a lot of difficult times there, but those difficult times brought you a lot of enlightenment, illumination, okay, realizations about yourself. And you saw a lot of truths. Those truths hurt like a bee, but they literally set you free, and they gave you a deeper level of awareness about who you were. So they're saying let go of the situations where you tried to be helpful to people. You tried to, it's almost like you put it on yourself to prove who you were to somebody or somebody's. And it's like trying to speak calculus to kindergartners. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't get it. They couldn't see you. They never got it. you were out of their league. Like, no matter what their opinion of you was, you were so far out of their league, they just could not see you. They could not receive who you were. And what it showed you was this unhealthy part of your own soul that was still trying to get approval. So, seeking approval of other people is something for you to let go of. And this past experience really helped reveal that to you. Like, you don't need to be seeking these folks' approval. For some of you, this was you trying to seek approval of that family. Again, most of you, I am picking up on the energy of an ex here, but trying to seek their approval, unnecessary. It served you at that time because it brought in a lot of self-awareness. At the core of why you went through it was you became highly self-aware of what you are versus what they thought you were and what they told you were. And therefore you carried that self-view. However, now you're more in tune with who you, I heard, with your star player. So you don't need that anymore. No more do you need to try to seek out somebody's approval. Challenge yourself to see if you can get this person to really see who you are, see what you're really about, see what your energy really is, and all that stuff. It's like you don't have to do that anymore. Okay. Our next position we're going to talk about is the useful past experience, the Fool, escape materialism, the Nail, painful but truthful, communication, the nail in the coffin, hitting the nail on the head, put a pin in it for later, new beginning needed, a flawed situation, a tower moment, something was not solid, had to build over something, okay, needs securing, something needed securing, the abundance, hello, take action, ooh, but the take action is in reverse, and then we have the Page of Wands and the 10 of Pentacles. So, a pastful experience in the past. There's this period where everybody left your life, is what I'm seeing with the Fool and escape materialism. Like, not only did everyone leave your life, like you could have lost a lot of money, some financial security that you had. Some of you, whatever left your life, it left your life because you were still invested in trying to tackle somebody else's problem, prove to someone else who you were, other people's problems. And yeah, and that definitely had to do with abundance. But then what happened when you were in this energy by yourself, sticking out by yourself, as a stability, as an anchor? One of the things you learned was it's not about the external actions, it's about the internal feeling. The take action in reverse is telling me it was not so much about the physical action, but it was about the internal feeling. And so this period where you ended up on your own, where you could have been in a situation very isolated, yeah, it was good news because that ended up I heard it sat you down on your butt long enough so that you could see what spirit had been trying to guide you, is like to fix your financial issues. It looks like it's all about the physical action when you look at it from a human set of eyes, but it's about the spirit. If you don't feel wealthy in your spirit, you're not going to see wealth in your physical reality. And all those who have experienced large amounts of wealth, they feel wealthy. And that's one of the things you learn. So I hear time was invested that was useful in feeling your wealth. Now, your wealth wasn't, when I say feeling your wealth, they were saying not necessarily attached to a bank account or a brand and model of clothes, car, or location of your home, stuff like that. Learning that there are so many ways in which you have wealth. All the ways you have wealth. Important. Very important. Because the more ways you could find that you had wealth, it's what they're showing me is every time you did that, you were connecting another brain connection to the energy of wealth. You became wealthy in mind, therefore you could become wealthy in body. 10 of Pentacles, having it all. And so there was this experience in the past where you could have been going through a very difficult time. And like I said, family members could have left you alone. Business could have left you alone. Job could have left you alone. Friends, family, everything just seemed to leave you alone. But what happened was it gave you a chance to focus on a healthy self view. You had to, because if you didn't, you might have just fallen all the way apart. And they're saying, and that wasn't going to be useful to you. And that was not which way you wanted to go. So this situation that you found yourself in is sort of forced you to refocus your mind, your energy onto what was more true for you, rediscovering again your true self view, and the wealth that cannot be stolen, the wealth that was always yours, the wealth that is permanent, internal. And from that place, from being connected to that energy, you could develop it externally, but you had to realize it internally in order to do that. So in our next position, what to cultivate, we have 6 of Wands. Ask your angels, seek the divine. Your angels want to support you. Just rest, sit, ponder, thinking. Okay. And then we have fear. And then we have becoming nobody. And we have Page of Swords and the 7 of Cups. And this is saying what to cultivate. Interesting. So they're saying one thing is going to help you is addressing the place of fear. Addressing the fears is going to help you because so they're showing me a short that I saw yesterday where this lady, she helps people move past physical pains by asking them about it repeatedly. And so what happens is she asks the guy the same question about his pain. I forgot where he had a pain in his body, but he said it was constant. It wouldn't go away. Okay. And so she asked him the same question about how does it feel when you think about this? And then he would answer and he would say, it feels like guilt, it feels like shame, it feels like hurt, it feels like pain, until I don't know, it may have been the 7th time she asked him the same question. And then he said, you know what I got to say though, is that the pain is gone. It's absolutely gone. I don't feel any pain anymore. So what happened was, and this is what these cards look like. It's like, so quantum mechanics says by your focus on something, the vibration of it changes. But as long as we try to ignore it and push it away, we haven't focused on it, it can't change its vibration. So what I saw that lady doing as I was watching this short was she made the person focus on it, asked a question that made them stay focused on it, and repeat it. And this was very quick, very rapid spitfire type of quickness with it, right? To where by the focus on it, it had to shift. It had to shift. And so you could ask your angels, like, well, as you're sitting, like, what fear is there in me to overcome? The becoming nobody is like when you hit that point where all of a sudden what used to hurt you don't hurt you no more. And they're using my personal experience as your example right now, saying, yeah, it's like, how many times did I have to tell the story of my father's suicide until it stopped hurting me, until it stopped being the most terrible thing that had ever happened in my life that ruined everything? A lot of freaking times I told that story, but it was never anything that was done with the understanding that the more I told the story, the more I talked about that pain and the hurt that came from it, that it would shift. So how much more powerful and how many fewer times would I have? They're asking the question, right? How many fewer times would I have to tell the story with the conscious awareness that focusing on it literally shifts the energy around it. So there's some hidden fear that's coming up in you. And according to what we've discovered from this spread, the hidden fear has to do with, the old times coming back. And so they're saying Page of Swords, Seven of Cups. They're saying, what else is possible in this? So as you realize, like, the hidden fear is falling back into poverty, losing the wealth you've built, everybody leaving your life again, whatever that is, right? Then you say, no, what else is possible in this? We've already done that, And so Page of Swords and Seven of Cups, like, what other possibilities exist here? And how can we shift that energy? And they're saying, ask your angels for help. Because anywhere where you don't have the question to ask, anywhere where you don't have the point of focus to look at, anywhere where you don't have the answer that's going to help alleviate and shift that energy, they're saying your angels are available and they can assist, and that you will find the answers from that assistance. Okay, so ask the question, see it to shift it, see it to transmute it. If you ignore it, they say ignorance is bliss, but ignorance does not shift energy, does not transmute energy. Um, it can't shift until you give it a point of focus, and then ask what else is true in this, because there's other truths in that, right? Okay. So in your next position, we're going to discuss what's the next step. You have the Three of Pentacles, obsession, the game player, the ball is back in your court, bounce back, sadness, leap of faith in reverse, the world, and the magician. Okay, next step. So I'm getting, as part of the situation that's happening here in your next step, is as you move forward, you know that there's somebody who's going to fall off, is what I'm seeing. Somebody's going to fall off, okay? And that's there's a sadness in it, because there's somebody here who is not presenting as true a player in the game. But it's time for you to make a comeback. It's time for you to bounce back. And it's like there's this energy of, with the sadness card, of saying goodbye to what was, letting your old self-awareness go, letting go of the old self-identity. With the leap of faith in reverse, what I'm seeing in the next step, there are energies with the obsession and the Three of Pentacles. There's energies here that wants to work with you. Okay, it's okay for you to work with them, but they're saying you also need to give yourself some time to play. The ball is in your court. It's time for you to play on your own team. The star player is showing up again. I'm getting a star player. But as you elevate, this is giving me the energy of some stuff can't go with you. It's going to fall off. And that's where the sadness comes in. You got to let that happen. It's inevitable at this point. And then I'm hearing, my success is inevitable. It's a song. Look it up on Spotify or whatever. My success is inevitable, because your success is inevitable. You already took the leap of faith. The next step is, some of this stuff is falling off. So this could be where I heard fair weather friends, they fall off. False friends, fake friends, people in love with some version of you that they have made up in their mind that's not authentic and true, they're gonna fall off. Family members is hanging on to you for the wrong reason. They obsessed with your success. They want to try to ride your coattails and all. They're falling off. It's a successful completion, world and the magician. It's a successful completion. It's like, you're not going to work with certain people. Certain clients won't want to come to you no more. Certain clients will not be there no more. But guess what? They're going to be replaced by something better. Keep enhancing your star player. It's like you have more access to the world than you have ever before. You have more access to your magic than you have ever before. because you now know how to address those lower vibrational emotions that comes up in you, and you release the emotional baggage you were carrying. You release the need to try to take care of your whole family and all that stuff. uh Energy shifts, things are going to change for you. Anywhere where you're holding on to some fears of success, and who's gonna who's gonna see you differently because of your success. There's a lot of people who their number one blockage to their success and wealth is the people that they will lose. There's some people who's blocking their wealth and their success because of the idea that their family is going to become a problem. I heard that's why they're going to have to fall off. So let me see your inner strength in this. Inner strength. 7 of Cups. You have special gifts. Never surrender to normal. The pop, the sweet reward, treating yourself, something desirable, recreational, and giving in to temptation. We have space. We have no strings attached. We have the Queen of Coins and the 8 of Pentacles. So your inner strength looks like you can do this on your own. You know how to handle things. You don't need nobody's help to help you put in the work, because this is an internal job. You know how to make wishes and play with that energy. You know how to use the gift of your imagination, your imagination. You know how to use that gift. You make healthy wishes and choices for yourself. You have special gifts. You can rely on your special gifts. You can utilize those to create in this world, and you don't have to settle for less or for what's normal. You have the gifts to create a spectacular life for yourself. You know that you are a sweet reward and that you create sweet rewards for yourself. Um, you treat yourself well. You know that you have I see the ability to create in this reality. As this universe and this planet is constantly becoming more and evolving into more, there's space for you to create within. Okay. um Also, your inner strength is being on your own as well, not having to attach yourself to ideas or validations or approvals of other people is a big deal for you in your success. You can inner strength, you can self develop yourself because you can see patterns in your life and recognize them for what they are and develop yourself from them. You're willing to meet yourself eye to eye. You're willing to see both sides of yourself to find balance within yourself. That's a big deal. These are your inner strengths that help you at this time. You can see yourself from both sides is a huge deal, because a lot of people only have a limited self view of what they are. They only see one side of their self. You don't require accompaniment, so you don't need an entourage. You don't need people on your side. Like, people. There's people that won't go out to a social setting unless they have somebody to go with. They have to go with friends. You're not like that. You don't need friends to go with you. Yeah. They're saying those people that require somebody to accompany them to every occasion has a limited and a restricted self-confidence. So you don't limit yourself to, I need other people around me to be successful. I need these people involved with what I'm doing in order for it to. You don't have those ideas where other people tend to live from that space. You don't. Yeah. And from your gifts and talents, you can make all kinds of things happen. You have these gifts and talents that can create all kinds of beauty in your life. Okay. And those are your inner strengths. The ability to do things on your own without a bunch of people on your side is a big freaking deal. Because, like I said, if you if you were like everybody else and wouldn't make a move without somebody on your side cheering you on and this and that, like, you would have never got this far. You got this far because you didn't wait for a bandwagon. You didn't wait for the cheerleaders. You didn't wait for everybody else to get. You just went to work. You started doing it. You saw a pattern. You wanted to fix it. You finished it. Yeah. All right. The outside help or advisor. You have the Four of Cups. We have get a reading. Interesting. They're saying it specifically when I saw get a reading, they said this reading is everything for you. You want to save this, send yourself the link. You want to watch this a few more times, they said, because there's a lot in here for you. We have the stethoscope, which is mind, heart, body connection. Get well, be well. Okay, healthy choices. Yeah, change in diet and exercise. I heard that. Okay, we'll get into it. We have the strength card. Okay. We have the hope on the horizon. We have the death card. Scorpio energy. We have the 10 of swords. So outside help or advisor. Basically, what this is showing me is you don't need an outside help or advisor, but this reading has been very beneficial in supporting the self-view that you have attained to. And again, this bounces back to your inner strength position that we just finished talking about. With the strength card at the center of it all, definitely bouncing back to the inner strength card. What is the outside help or advisor that's coming through for you? You're seeing synchronicities. You've learned how to read your life. It says use divination to understand your desires and path. Okay. Those of you who do actually want to get a reading, because there's some more confirmation that can come through for you, go ahead. The information is below the video and on the website. However, I see like you have the ability to read from your life experiences and see where you're at and take the signs and synchronicities that build you up. Outside helper advisor. The Four of Cups was the first card out. The Ten of Swords is the last card out with the Death card next to it. That is telling me you don't require outside advice. You don't require people to help you. You don't require outside energy to create, because you know this life is created through you and to you, baby. It comes through you. It comes in and through you. You create it. You make it happen. And you're using your life experience to divine things that you need to know. It's like you get messages from life, and you have mind, heart, mind, and body coherence. You have an alignment where your heart and your mind and your soul, it's all choosing the same way, which is healthy choices. You're making healthier choices for yourself that benefit you. You have the power, and your life is going to continue to show you the strength that you have. So you're seeing that from the world around you, is how strong you are. I heard some of you, this is happening because you're meeting ones who don't have the strength and the power, and you're able to compare and contrast. I mean, comparison is not the best thing to do, but in some cases, what it's going to do, and in this case, what I'm seeing is like it's going to show you what you accomplished that somebody else didn't, and with the Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck next to the celebration right next to it, like, baby, you have everything going for yourself. You stop beating yourself up with these ideas that nobody wanted you. Now what's happening is people is trying to come at you so much. They're trying to get into your energy space so much, and you're just shooting them down left and right, is the way I see it. because you realize, I just heard it clearly. So you realize that it's all about you, like it's literally all about you. So where you used to crave everybody's attention and time and affection and friendship, you don't even have those same desires anymore, because being on your own, self-navigating, they're saying the phrase self-navigating this world has been so beneficial. It was always easy, but you have a more developed awareness of how the self-navigating has been so beneficial, that now, like, you don't even want to do it anywhere any other way, any way else. You don't even want to try to make everybody else such an important factor in how things go for you, because you became aware of how valuable the self-navigation has been. And it's literally has changed your life. Like, you're in this position. Your next step is the magician in the world, baby. You're level up big time success. Yeah. Your next step is you already took a leap of faith, right? And part of it was being willing to let go of, worrying about what other people was going to say about what you did, trying to get their approval. The ball is in your court, and you already shot your shot, and you about to get that 3-pointer, baby. That's the way I see that. So I love what came out in this reading. Let's do your alpha and omega messages. I just see like you have been, as regards this financial stuff, you had a lot of emotional baggage to deal with, and I just see you're gonna have tears of joy coming through as you hit levels you have never even knew were possible for you. All right. Review and contemplation. This is judgment card energy. You've accomplished a great deal in your life, and you have much to be proud of. Now it's time to decide what's next. As you contemplate the past and the present, you'll get clear on your divine life purpose. Don't be distracted by conventional thinking. Be the real you. Again, just a confirmation there about, there was actually a lot in this card that resonated with this whole reading. Like I said, you did it. You got cause for celebration. You did this. You should be proud of yourself. And it is time for you to decide what's next. And in the next step position, the magician's like, you got all the tools you need, baby. What do you want it to be? Where do you want it to go? Yeah. And don't get distracted by everybody ideas like, well, you need a bunch of friends around you all the time. You need your family's approval. You need to do things the way, but no, you don't need to do nothing the way you didn't do nothing the way everybody else did to get here. So why would you need to do that going forth? You don't. Okay. Your final card says, dearest you, are you taking yourself and your problems too seriously? Maybe fear of the future is weighing on you. We would like you to take a little break from all that and start having fun. When you stop fixating on what has been making you heavy hearted, we get a chance to move some magic in your direction. We just need you to let go a little. Spirit needs some room and gets very inspired by your laughter when you have fun. When was the last time you got really loose, silly, and goofy? Maybe you need to go dancing or watch some very funny comedy to make you laugh, or call the one friend you know will remind you how ridiculous and delightfully giddy you can be. You will return refreshed and renewed and ready to once again see the world as less daunting, and you will be ready to receive in perfect timing the bounty that Spirit has for you. Don't you just love how much we care about you? Yeah, you have put in the work. It's time for you to enjoy all that you've accomplished. Um, if you're going to do the whole shift and transmute the energy of the problem or the fear, like I said, the lady did do it in rapid spitfire. If you're going to talk about it, think about it, focus on it, to shift it, do it quickly. You know what I'm saying? And get back to who you really are, which is a beautiful, fun loving soul living your best life. Okay, that's what I have for you at this time. Until next time, I absolutely love and adore the part of me that aligns with you. The golden thread that shines all the way through, called love and peace and happiness. And in the meantime, in between time, you could treat yourself at lphtarot.com. as in love, peace, and happiness to you and yours. And of course, me and mine. Until next time. 감사합니다. Gracias. Later, baby. That's all, folks. And I'm out.